7 a.m. Sharing the screen right now, guys. Welcome to the earnings of Shopify and Uber. And I just shared the screen right now, both of them. They're both pretty much dropping off here. Let's see, Uber is down a good 9%. Just a few minutes ago, we released earnings, and then we have Shopify down 5.7%. Look at that for an early morning dump off. So let me go see what the actual earnings were for these bad boys. Welcome to the stream, guys. It's super early. I'm barely awake. Gotta slap that cold water on my face. Let's go see what these earnings say. Uber had a great run. Let's be honest. They had a great run over the last couple of months. All right. I don't really want to know everything here. Let me see. Uber. Just grew. So with Uber, we have gross bookings 20% year over year surplus, right? So we grew 20% year over year. Came in at 37 billion. And then we have mobility bookings over 25% year over year. I believe what it is the net loss. So year over year, net loss came in at 654 million compared to 157 million a year ago. But everything looks like, positive. It's not so bad. There's a lot of growth in the revenue. There's a lot of growth in the bookings. I believe it came in, the guidance is what came in very kind of short on the estimates. Let me share that with you guys. Good morning, guys. It's early. I'm glad you guys are hanging out with me this early. Shows dedication, for sure. Duck is not allowed to trade Uber anymore in the Discord. He's not with us today, so I'm going to ban him from trading Uber ever again. Good morning, Rollins. Good morning, Fergie. Good morning, Missy. Porterhouse in the house. Okay, so just share this out there real quick. Share link. Let's put this out there in the stock. Let's put that out there right now for everyone. Driving to work, maybe want to listen in. Here we go. So we have, close that door real quick. So we have coming in, we have Uber's revenue. Everything was pretty good. I'm going to write this up for you guys just so I can share it. I'm going to take a few things from the actual results, not everything, because there's like all these freight bookings and delivery bookings and stuff like that, which you can go to check that out on their website. You can check investor relations, and you can look into their earnings results a little bit more in depth if you'd like. But I'm gonna share revenue came in higher. Earnings for Uber. I can't type fast enough this morning. And then let me put the guidance, because the guidance is probably what dropped it off. The bookings came in, the gross bookings, they estimated between 38 and 40 billion. The estimates were 40 billion, and they came in a little bit short, right? They're saying between 38 and 40 billion. So that is a no-no for investors out there to see. So that's guidance. Net loss came in at worse than expected. So let me put that out there. Okay, here we go. Share. All right, hope you guys can see that. So they got this 10.13 billion. That's 15% year over year, compared with estimates. And then the gross bookings, what came in a little bit lower than expected. Net loss is higher than expected as well. So that's why we're seeing. That's why we're seeing here on the left side Uber dropping off, and then also Shopify, 16% down, guys. That's a huge move to the downside there. Yeah, that's holding to that. Yeah, so huge move to the downside. Shopify is 16% down. And then we have Uber dropped as low as 63, bounced to VWAP on the 5-minute chart, and then is holding up around $65, which is about 7.5% down. So let's kind of look at the bigger picture for Uber. That's a big, ugly red candle on the 4-hour chart, right? So if we go put a few lines across here, horizontal support levels, we can probably put it around here. It's kind of where it's trying to hold from a couple of days ago. And then we're probably going to look at, I'm going to say around here, and probably around here. So, I mean, let's be honest here. Uber's had a hell of a run, and even I had it back here when we popped out of this nice downwards channel and finally took off to the upside. Uber was sitting around like $25, 20. It went as low as $20 back in 2022. And let's be honest, this is a hell of a run. This is pretty much you've seen 3 times where it was from all-time lows to where, you know, recently went as high as $82. So this has been on a hell of a run. And now it's time to pull back a little bit, which is going to be good for some of those investors that missed the whole move and maybe they want to, you know, trade it long term. I'm going to be looking at certain levels here, 62, 65, as low as $57. I think we could get down to if, you know, the sellers really come in and pull this down. I don't know when the conference call is because my eyes just opened a little while ago, so I'd have to check into when the conference is. Maybe it's at 8 a.m. Eastern. If that's the case, then there may be a bit more volatility around that conference. So levels right now is, you know, 60, you know, I would say 66. If we can push back over 66 and hold, that could be a bottom for the day, and we can start trending back up towards that 68 to 70 again. If we lose at 66, then if we stay underneath it, then you can short this. You can maybe play some day trades on the put side down to 62 and then down to as low as 57 over the next couple of days if we continue to sell off. I'm not saying it's going to happen today. It's already down 6%, but it could. Is Affirm this morning? Yes, Affirm is this morning too. So Uber came in. I shared those results with you. Let me share also Shopify, and then we can take a look at maybe what Affirm's doing. Okay, so EPS, Shopify. Man, I do like Shopify. I would like to see what their guidance is, but right now their sales, on the actual sales part, on the earnings, EPS came in at 20 cents, estimated was 17. So they did, EPS came in a bit stronger than expected. Sales actually came in higher than expected too. I believe it's probably to do with guidance, why we're down so much this morning. We're down 18.7%. That's a huge drop in Shopify. Down, man, there's a gap to fill right there at 62 as well. Look at this gap down to 62 and a half, and we're pretty much down there right now at that level, right? We've got this gap right here. And we're pretty much touching that level at this point. Right there. That blue line is where the gap is. Filled the gap to the downside on the daily. You should pull that up, and you can see the daily. We've got a gap here to about 62 and a half. Let's have a look at. Let's go to, on the bigger picture, and let's go to Shopify. Let's zoom in a little bit, see what's going on the bigger picture. On the daily. So where that blue line is, that's exactly where we're at currently. The daily is not going to update on the chart until market open. We're going to see that big red candle. But on the 4 hour, you can see the update, right? So we've got that gap to 62. I'm just seeing what else there is out there that could hold. Get rid of these lines from a long time ago. If we put this trend line up from the bottom here, right, from the one as low as $23, this was like a bargain to pick up at $23. We could, technically, if you look at the bigger picture, put this trend line up from the low of 2022. And then we bounced off here in November 2023. We could bounce off this trend line again. This could also be a level to watch. Probably around, let's see, if we're down here, probably around $58, $57, $58. But I got levels here. This is exactly where we're at. We filled that gap to 62.5 right here. We could definitely hold this 62.5 and start just pushing up from here, and you can probably scalp that. But I got levels to the downside, $50, and then if we bounce off this trend line, maybe around 58. So there's a few levels to look at there: 62.5, 58, and then as low as 50 would be ideal. Would be a nice area where we kind of bounced off and held that level pretty strong back here in 2023. Could be a nice level to go long once we hold. Yeah, Duco, yes, way too early. Good morning, Zara. 700. But let me zoom in on the 5 minute. This could be a nice little scalp back to around 65. As long as this 62.5 holds here, let's go on the 3 minute. As long as this area holds this 62.5, I think we have definitely a good possibility to hit 65, back at 65 to 67. Put the fibs on. Let's put those white, make it easier for us to see. Get rid of that. So yeah, so I think we have a good possibility to get to 65 to 67 again on Shopify. We're down pretty big, so I would at least look for a little retracement back to the 25%, which is around 66.5. Let's see what we get. And zoom in a little bit here. So 2 minute, we are starting to see some push right here from this 62.5 level. Not really an engulfing candle, but we are starting to get some volume here. Now VWAP is going to be in the way around 65 is where VWAP is. Man, so many people join us. Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Deals for Days, Duco, Ray, Snowflake in the house. If you missed us just a minute ago, Shopify down 16.5%, and then we also have Uber down as well. Let's see what Uber's doing. Always can look for that retracement, right? That 25%. Let's see where we're at here. Already Uber's hit that 25% mark, right? We from that low 63.35, a 25% retracement was 65 and change. We already hit 66 and change. So right now, if we don't start really seeing some increase in volume, we may start pulling back down to retesting those lows. So I would like to see it hold above 66. And then the targets, if we hold above 66, would be around that $68, I think we can get to before maybe falling off or getting some selling pressure again. Let's see what I actually have more faith in Shopify than I have in Uber right now. I think they got a little bit more increased volume here, so I really do think the 66 can get hit. 66.5. The morning crew. That's right. I traveled to work today. I got up from my bed, walked down the stairs, and boom, I'm at work already. Didn't take me very long. It was a good travel. It's a good little travel there. I am going to pop on real quick, guys. Affirm. Let me have a look at Affirm. Affirm is up a good 4.5%. So Affirm's doing the opposite of all the rest that we just talked about. More positive, they're up 4%. It went as high as 37.5, and we're trying to pull back a little bit here, but we're still positive, right? We're still up 4%. Let's see what earnings they had. They beat EPS by 28 cents, pretty strong. They beat earnings by 26 million. Quarterly total revenue, 51%. I suppose people are starting to run out of money now, and they're trying to pay for it over time. With Affirm, you can pay for it over 8 payments or 4 payments or whatever. So maybe more people are using them so they can pay for their stuff over time now, which I don't know if that's a good thing for our economy or a bad thing. But for this company, it's good. So their gross merchandise volume grew 36% year over year to 6.3 billion. So Affirm, very positive. Everything's growing for this company. And I mean, I don't know. I would love to know if any of you grabbed it with the Rest and Retire, or you grabbed it online, guys, down here in the $8 range. But in PB, we grabbed it on the Rest and Retire, which is longer term plays. We grabbed it here at $11 and change. So we didn't grab it at $8 where it double bottomed back in 2020, 2023. But we grabbed it once we started moving into the upwards direction. So, I mean, congrats if you grabbed it around that price. That was a great deal. Great deal. This is a company that's growing in that market share. And it's doing very well at the moment. So we grabbed it at $11.95 was our entry for the Rest and Retire. We went as high as $52. So that's some great return on your investment in just 1 year with the Rest and Retire. And the Rest and Retire is like $15 a month or something. It's something stupid just to get these plays. So Affirm acting positively, it's up 4%, trying to hold on to that 4%. So we're going to go back to Uber. Uber, like I said, couldn't hold that 25% retracement, and now we're trying to curl back down and make that H-shaped formation. So the sellers are coming back into this play, trying to pull this back down. So the levels I'd be looking at maybe to take this for a bounce play would be 64.5, or down here at 63.3. If we hold that area and we see buyers come in, those are the levels that I'd be looking at for a little scalp day trade to the upside. Now, if you're trying to play this down, then you just wait for it to lose these levels and play it for more to the downside. A nice workout this morning, ready for the day. The best feeling, and I wish I drive 58 seconds to work every day. That's hilarious. That's great. That's great risk management too, right? I mean, you're not in the way of all these hundreds of cars out there that drive dangerously to work. So that's great risk management right there. 58 seconds to go to work. Ray over here got a nice workout this morning. The best feeling is when you can get a nice workout. Unfortunately, my workout is feeding the kids and entertaining them for the morning. If I could, I'd probably get on a bike or something and drive around the neighborhood. That would be great. Get some workout, but it gives those endorphins going, ready for the day. Get yourself pumped, ready for the trading day. Anyone excited to maybe trade these today, Uber and Shopify? I'm in a panic. So what's going on over there on YouTube? I see a comment by Mr. and Mrs. Park. I'm in a panic. What's going on? Let us know. Are you in a position with these? Because, when you get into a position with these stocks that have earnings, we always talk about it in the Discord, in our group. We always talk about how it can be basically a coin flip with earnings nowadays. And it's like they miss on guidance by a tiny amount. The stock price can tank 20%. It's insane. So it's a coin flip to hold any position into earnings nowadays. And it's a 50-50 risk. That you hope for a bigger earnings so that the stock price goes higher and you make some money, or if you're trying to maybe swing a put or something, you're waiting for that to drop off and make some money. But it's a 50-50 coin toss at this point, guys. And I always kind of lower my positions. I say in the Discord all the time, it's like going into earnings, I'd rather lower my risk on a position, and if they do well, I just look for a pullback and I enter back in afterwards, but that risk is off the table of me potentially losing a good, on Uber 6-7%, or on Shopify 16-17%. That's a huge hit on my account if I kept my full position in there. So I try to just minimize my positions on stocks that have earnings coming up, and then if they're that good, they're going to go higher afterwards. So I rather just grab them afterwards and play the continuation. So if you're struggling and you need some help, guys, we have a group that is, you don't have to just jump in and pay. You can jump in, it's free, and come learn, come trade. There's some free live streams in there too, and you can come join us there. And before you jump in, and if you really do like it, then you can jump in and upgrade to premium, which you get a whole lot more. You get a trading coach, you get alerts, you get live stream stuff like that. But if you want just to try us out for free, there's a free section as well, guys. This is for social media mostly. We do have a lot of people in the free section currently as well. But if you're struggling, come to our group, our community, and reach out, and we see what we can do to help you. All right, so Shopify is stuck around 60, 64 bucks. Uber's trying to hold up 65, that 25% retracement. But I also think here, if we draw, let's go into drawing mode, see if I can draw some stuff. This area here is going to be significant to get through, so we have to get through this. That didn't work very well. Let's do that again. Right here is VWAP. It's going to be a strong resistance as well. This is on the 2-minute chart. And then also if we go over to Shopify, we also get rejection here at VWAP as well. So very interesting. 2 charts next to each other, both getting rejection at that VWAP level. Let's move that out the way. So VWAP is holding them both down. Yeah, and also you get the daily watch list, guys. I mean, I put the daily watch list available in the free section, available in premium as well. They're basically breakout plays, right? So we're looking for volume and we're looking for an entry above a certain level, and you can play upside and make some money there on the breakout momentum trades. Very good return to investment as long as you go by a very strict plan, because momentum trades come with risk as well. You're looking at volume, you're looking at break and resistance levels, and when that volume disappears, then the stock price could drop significantly. So you always have to have a plan, when to get in, when to take some profits, when to put your stop in place, and these are just normal things to have when you get into a trade, right? So if you stick by a very disciplined trading plan for every single one, you're going to make money, or you're going to stop out with a minimal loss. So Uber's trying to push above VWAP now, so it's up to 66. If we can hold above VWAP, we may get pushed back to about 68. What is the current market doing? Let's have a look at futures. I think they're red at the moment, right? So let's see what they're at. Probably a mixed bag. No, we're red now. So we got S&P futures down 8 points. We got tech, which is NASDAQ, down 34 points. We have Dow Jones down 11 points. And we have the small caps. We can't forget Russell down 11 points. So the futures are red at the moment. We are starting to see some of the European markets pull back as well. They were up pretty nicely, but now they're getting pulled back. So we may see a flat day or maybe a little bit red day. But right now we're red on the futures, and then European markets are slightly green. German markets up 0.3%. French markets up 0.8%. English, which is the UK FTSE 100, is up 0.03%. So they're green, but they are pulling back slightly. So I always like to look at the European markets and kind of gauge that into the US markets for the day as well. I'm gonna stay around here for like another 10 minutes, guys, and then I'm gonna jump off and feed my kids, and then I'm gonna join you guys back in the Discord. So around like 7:40, I'm gonna jump out of here. But look, we got some volume coming in with Uber now. Uber's looking the better one out the two so far, pushing above VWAP. Now we're up to about 66.5. So potential here to go to about 68 before I could see maybe a pullback. And then Shopify is still having a hard time getting above VWAP. So if it can get above $64 and 64 and a half, then I think we have a good chance to get back to 66 to 68. Write those numbers down. Anyways, let's see. Please do 60 or 50 seconds. You keep stressing me out on these numbers. It's your account 500 yet. Where's Duck at? Where is Duck at? This guy's awake. I know he is. He's awake somewhere. He's awake somewhere in this Discord. So this, this could set us up for a good, I always love, me, I always love these rebounds in stocks that overreact. And it tickles me when I can trade these from the rebounds and get them at super cheap levels and day trade them and scalp them for 3-4% for the day. Still gives me a tickle, even when I've been doing this forever. Still gives me the great satisfaction just to trade rebounds and these overreactions. I'm not quite sure if Uber's going to be overreaction. Could go green for the day. Who knows? But I will be there to try to trade it if it does. And then we have Shopify, which I actually kind of like. Shopify down at 16%. I could see this rebounding a little bit for the day, and you're gonna see my little flag there, trading it. Mr. SLP's flag, scalping. Oh, there we go. We got more action on the firm than the rest. The firm's it just topped out there at 37.5, but it's up 5%. So it's trying to push up higher, which, with those numbers today with a firm, I mean, we could start pushing back towards the top of this channel, probably around the 40s, 43. Could be. We even got a nice bullish signal on the daily for a firm. So it's above the SMA 50, above the 20. So this could maybe start traveling back towards $43 with those kind of earnings that came out today. You can kind of keep a solid support level of the bottom here, which is nice. This is off there. I mean, you could bring it down a little bit, make the channel a little bit tighter maybe, and you would have kind of seen a little breakout kind of from that area if we put it across here and kind of forgot about these little humps along the way. But the stronger line would have been across the top of these more inside candles here. And that's where we got that bullish signal once it broke above the SMA 50 and above the top of this channel. Then we got that bullish signal once we retraced, retested, and kind of bounced off there. So Uber, I think, the firm, I think we could see maybe the 40s if it doesn't sell off at market open. But my trades would be definitely over 64.5. That would be my trade for Shopify. A little scalp, guys. I'm not saying get in and hold it, because we could see a nice bounce, but then we can see a continuation down. So I don't want you to be stuck in it. Just a little bit. If you have a day trade, then that would be vital for this trade. If you have a day trade left on your account. First target would be 41. Yeah, I agree. I think Porterhouse has really good numbers in the Discord. This guy's come a long way with his levels. He's, his strategy, stuff like that. He's doing really well over there. So, and he shares all this information. So really good levels that he comes up with. He put out there first target $41. Then from there, we go higher from there. These are resistance levels that you can target. But this is a good number that came even in the Discord. I'm proud of you guys waking up so early. It's tough sometimes. Yeah, let's all do the duck sound. Exactly. Let's all do that. Here we go. I'm sure he got his little call now. It's like a bat call. Duck call. Come on, duck. Wake up, bud. Stop cleaning yourself off at the pond, the local pond, and start flying yourself over here to the charts. All right. Let me get rid of that. So yeah, RSI is super oversold too. That was the earnings were in the way on socials, but oversold. I mean, we came down on this 2-minute chart down to around like 5 on the RSI. Let's see what the 5-minute said. 5-minute was like down at 7. Oh my god, that was pretty crazy. RSI really oversold there on Uber, and then also on Shopify came down to around the same. Basically nothing. But you're going to see some more volume, guys. It's early, but you're going to see some more volume come in after 8 a.m. That's when a lot of these platforms open up as well. So you're going to see a lot more volume flood in after 8 a.m. And then at 9:30, obviously, for the bell, we're going to see some big volume coming in. Sellers or buyers, just watch these levels, though. You can put simple retracement on before we sold off to the bottom of where we sold off to, and then you can kind of get some real close, more closer levels to aim for and targets to aim for. Same thing with Shopify as well. Uber and Shopify both red for the day. Uber's down 6%, Shopify is down 16%. There's just kind of volumes died off a little bit on these two. But definitely want to look for plays into market open, and after 8 a.m. we're going to see some more volume coming in. So that should be fun to trade. We also have another stream coming in this afternoon for earnings. We got some big earnings this afternoon as well. Let me just share those with you before I jump off. We have at 4 p.m. is when we're going to be on a stream again to go over some earnings. We have ARM tonight. We have ARM. We also have Robinhood. If you guys, we've got some Robinhood fans out there. I'm sure SEC is a Robinhood fan lately as well. So we got Robinhood out there. We got ARM earnings tonight. We got Airbnb tonight. We have AMC. Do we have some AMC apes left out there? I'm quite surprised if there be any apes left. With that stock price going down as low as it has been, they may be running for the trees by now. So we got some AMC earnings tonight, and then we have Beyond Meat. Right, these are meme-like stocks. We have AMC, we have Beyond Meat. That's like a meme stock. Robinhood is pretty much a meme stock. It used to be, they used to come in and sell that off big time, and it was like a meme stock as well. So definitely keep your eye out. At 4 p.m. is when we go live on socials to go over those earnings, and also in the Discord as well. So I am going to jump off at 7:40 now. It was cool hanging out with you guys super early. This is normally not the time that I do streams, but it was cool nevertheless hanging out with everyone here until 4 p.m. where we see you guys again on socials. Have a good trading day, guys. See you later.